Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily FX market review for the trading day ending Thursday, October 29th. Firstly to the Euro US dollar, and here we see some buying coming into this market off the 109.02 level of support, previous important area, and below there the 108.48 is also another important area. The buyers closing with control in this candle and suggesting that there is good potential for further upside, and at the moment we are seeing some buying coming in on this current candle that is developing. The loss of control by the sellers and the winning of control by the buyers suggests that there is that possibility of further upside, but looking to potential resistance to come in around 110.15 or just below there around the 110 level. So from 110 to 110.15 we could see the buyers losing commitment around that area. So let's watch that area if the market does continue to appreciate. If we do see any selling, watching the 109.02 level once again to act as potential support. In terms of Ichimoku, we do have a bearish market in all three timeframes, supported by the Chica span being below the corresponding price action. So this is suggesting that we are likely to see the market attempt to rally and fail, and then the sellers come back into the market. The sellers have been very strong in this market, just looking at the character of these candles. Very strong selling, very dynamic black-bodied candles. The rallies have been rather meek, and let's watch how this next one develops. If we see some strength here, it's a good solid white body candle, then it could mean that this trend to the downside may have terminated, but at the moment we're not seeing any sign of that yet. Next to the hourly charts on the Euro US dollar, and here for the majority of the trading session we saw the market attempting to rally, and that was in response to this extreme trading well down below that third pivot point support level. And very often when we see the market closing down below those levels, it does suggest that it is a little overdone and we don't tend to see the strong follow through the next day, and that's exactly what's happened here. The market rallying to find very strong resistance around the middle pivot point level, and then late in the trading day just breaching up through there. And at the moment we are just trading below the Ichimoku cloud. Now the cloud is very thin. It's that thin that we can even barely see it on the chart, and it's around the 109.97 level, very close to that 110 level. And a bullish breach up above there with strong bullish follow through could see this trend change in the longer term time frame from bearish to bullish. Potential resistance at the first pivot point resistance level 110.05, and then up above there at 110.36. If we see the market sell off from the cloud resistance, and even if though we do have a thin part of the cloud, it may continue to act as resistance for this market. We could see selling off there. If we do see that occur, we have very strong support below at the Tenkan-sen, firstly around 109.67, 109.70, then at the middle pivot point level 109.55, and then at the Kijun-sen 109.46. If those areas are breached, we could then easily see a test down to the first pivot point support level 109.23, and then possibly to the second at 108.72. To the US dollar, Japanese yen, and here we see formation of a doji type candle, a candle that's opened and closed around the same level, suggesting that net movement between the open and the close has been non-existent, and that does raise doubt about the potential for the market to trade higher, and that's off the back of this solid build of upside momentum from this bullish candle. This previous candle was the second time we've seen a bullish breakout up above the Ichimoku cloud, but we haven't seen the strong follow through that we'd like to see to confirm. And with formation of the doji candle, it suggests that we could see the market come off and test back down to the support around 120.83 or at the top of the Ichimoku cloud. If we do test it within the cloud, we have strong support at the Tenkan-sen trading at 120.49. Importantly here, however, we have seen the buyers continue with control on this candle by closing up towards the high, so that's a positive factor and suggests that we may see the market trade to higher levels, but we do have strong resistance overhead, 121.30 and 121.52. Next to the US dollar Japanese yen on the hourly charts, and the market opened above each of the Ichimoku indicators and then sold off early in the session to trade within the Ichimoku cloud, but finding support at the Kijun Sen and the Tenkan Sen, and we held a support there for about half a dozen hours and then eventually breaching through the Ichimoku cloud but on a weak candle, then selling off to find support once again at the Kijun Sen, but then rallying on some more positive candles and the Tenkan Sen holding a support. At the moment we're trading around the middle pivot point level. It's an important area. If we breach down through there we could see the market trade to lower levels, but we do have the Kijun Sen just below around 120.90. If that's breached in a bearish manner we could easily trade to the first pivot point support level 120.76. The cloud here is very thin. It's very hard to see, and it's at this level here. Both the Senko Span A and Senko Span B are at the same level around 120.62. An opportunity here for the sellers if they're strong enough to breach through there, and if they can we could easily end up trading down through to the second pivot point support level at 120.40. If we do however see the middle pivot point level hold a support, and if we can breach through the Tenkan Sen in a bullish manner, we could end up trading to the first pivot point resistance level 121.34, roughly 120.132, and then perhaps to the second at 121.53. To the Aussie dollar US dollar, and a moderate bearish follow through following the breakout down below the Ichimoku cloud. The reduction in the size of the black body does cause concern, and it suggests that net momentum that we saw on the breakout is no longer in the market. But importantly, the black body still is not a significantly small black body, and this suggests that sellers still have some downside momentum, and suggesting we could see the market trade to lower levels. We've also seen the sellers close with control, as we saw for the previous day's trading, and that's certainly a positive for continued selling. Watching the support area at 70.63, that's a very, very important area, but also importantly the 70-cent round number. And just highlighted now, that 70-cent round number has been an important area in the recent past, with the market just extending through there previously, finding support down at 69.38. So if we can breach down through 70.63 in a bearish manner, we could end up testing down to around this 70-cent level or below. We do have a bearish market in all three timeframes now. There was an opportunity here for the buyers previously, but with a lack of follow through we saw the market fall apart, and this is suggesting that in bigger picture terms the sellers still are the stronger party. Next to the hourly charts with the Aussie dollar US dollar, and here for the trading session has finished. The market opened below each of the Ichimoku indicators, attempting to rally, finding resistance very close to the Kijun Sen, selling off from there and hugging down through the Tenkan Sen, with that area holding as resistance for the majority of the latter part of the trading day. At the moment we've opened below the middle pivot point level. We are attempting to rally, but finding some resistance there that trades around 70.87 and may provide a very solid barrier, as may the Kijun Sen, which is just above there around 70.92. If we can breach up through the Kijun Sen, potential to trade to the first pivot point resistance level 71.06, or to the second around 71.36. That second level corresponds with the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud in the first part of the trading session, so watching that area very closely. Any selling off the middle pivot point level acting as resistance may see the market test quite easily down to the first pivot point support level 70.57, and then possibly down to the second around 70.39. Next to cable, the British pound US dollar, and solid buying coming in off the 152.43 level of previous support. This is an area that has been tested solidly in the recent past, and we've seen the market rally quite vigorously off that area. The rally off this level hasn't been quite as strong for today, but still a good answer to the strong selling of the previous week and a half or so, with the buyers closing with control, but failing to close above the Kijun Sen suggests that we may not see continued upside. At the moment this current candle is rallying off the Kijun Sen. It's actually holding a support and a potential for the market to trade up to the 153.43 level of resistance. If we see selling coming in, very strong support down through to 152.43 and below there 151.68. We do have a bear market in the longer term and the short term time frame, but with the close being just at the Kijun-sen for today's trading has finished, we have a neutral market in the medium term time frame, and the Chica span being within the price action tends to confirm that and suggests that we may be seeing the market in transition from a bear phase in that medium term time frame to something of a bull phase. But let's watch how the market develops. 153.43 may be the benchmark as resistance to the upside. Into cable for the hourly charts, and here we see very strong downtrending price action down below the Ichimoku cloud for about 5 or 6 days or so, the cloud holding as resistance. And for today's session, we opened down below each of the Ichimoku indicators and rallied in the latter part of the trading day to find resistance around the first pivot point resistance level and within the cloud. At the moment, we've opened within the cloud. We are trading within there, so potential for the market to transition into a bull phase. It's probably about time after the strong selling, and we'll be looking for a breakout up above the cloud. We want a strong bullish breakout, strong bullish follow through to confirm. If we do see that potential resistance at the first pivot point resistance level, 153.37, and then the second 153.65. If we do see selling coming in, watching the Tenkan-sen closely to hold as support 153.06, and if we breach down through the middle pivot point level 152.91 may hold as resistance, and it's down very close to the bottom of the cloud for up until about halfway through the trading day.